Welcome back. We are talking about the food pyramid today, and you may have seen this at school back in the day where you're learning a little bit about nutrition. And this is from the government. This is what they suggested would be a healthy diet. So today I'm going to offer an alternative, but first we're going to go through what made up the original food pyramid. So at the bottom, we have carbs. So on this channel, we don't like to demonize food, but carbs were classed as the most important part of the diet. That's why they're in the big part of the pyramid. Then we have vegetables, then we have the fruits, the beans, the legumes and the nuts. Then we have olive oil, which gets its own section for some reason. We get cheese and yogurt just above that. Then we have fish. Then we have poultry, eggs, sweets, and then you have red meats on top of that. So as you can tell, it's a bit all over the place. Today, let's look at how we can make this better. So the new way. And this is mainly if fat loss is your goal. This is how we look at things. So we go here. The bottom of the pyramid, and this might surprise you, it's not carbs, it's not vegetables, which a lot of people think it probably should be, but it is foods you like. So why is this important? This is important because if you don't like what you're eating, you're not going to be able to sustain it. For instance, if I put vegetables here and you hate vegetables and you know this is the most important thing, then you're probably not going to stick to the diet. But if I say you can eat whatever you want within reason, obviously, then you're more likely to stick to it. Next up, we have calories. So, which is not even mentioned at all in the original food pyramid. Then we have protein. So if we look back, so in terms of actual food, this is the first real thing of actual food that's in the whole pyramid. So if you look here, cheese and yogurt right up here at the top of the pyramid is the first time protein's mentioned, then fish, then poultry, then eggs, and then red meat at the top, where they obviously didn't want people eating red meat. But here, protein as a whole, most important part of your diet, and we'll sort of talk about why in a second. And then at the top is carbs and fats. So we have this side part as well, just here. And what this is, in terms of fat loss and getting results, is consistency. And this is important because if you're not consistent with all of this, you ain't going to get results. So when we say consistency, we mean you want to be following the 80-20 principle, which means 80% of the time you are here eating all the good stuff, being within your calories. Make sure you've got protein and your carbs and fats are balanced. And obviously, because it is the most important part, you're eating food you actually like. And then we have 20% wiggle room, where we can actually eat foods that are probably not recommended in terms of health or any benefit, but stuff like chocolate or ice cream or something like that. A treat you like can be within your 20%, because we know how many calories you need here. So 80% of the good stuff comes from those calories. That's enough to get results. But then 20%, you can have a little bit of fun and be a little bit more naughty. The idea is not to demonize anything. That's why here, food you like is playing a big role. a lot of diets, they just demonize food and make you not eat or restrict everything, and then you end up hating it. If you hate it, you're not going to stick with it. With this, we want to make it a long-term approach. So next up, let's talk a little bit about calories. So if your goal is fat loss, you need to know your calorie deficit. So how many calories do you need to eat every single day in order to lose weight? So how we do that the super easy way is goal body weight times 12. This would equal your calorie deficit. All right, so like I just said here, 80% of the time you need to be hitting that in order to get results. All right, next up, we're going to talk a little bit about protein. So the protein here, protein means most important. It's the most important factor when it comes to being satiated and eating healthily. Your protein are your things that help you repair your muscles and help you recover after a workout. It keeps you full, like I just said, and it basically makes dieting a little bit easier. And it's not just for meat eaters. You can hit your protein targets when you're a vegan or a plant-based dieter as well. So when it comes to protein, figuring out this one's the easiest equation ever. It's goal body weight, and these are in pounds, by the way, for both equations. Goal body weight times 1 equals protein target. If you don't get a lot of protein, you're not training that hard, you can go 0.8 on the calculation. Most people, 1's enough. And with both of these, track it. What gets measured gets managed. If you are not tracking it, you're guessing, and guessing does not get results. Because if you're guessing, you're hitting it 80% of the time, but in actuality, you're doing it 50% of the time. And I know this, I've done this myself. You're just not going to have a good time. And then the last part of the puzzle is carbs and fats. So carbs are not bad for you. They do not make you put on weight. The reason you've put on weight is because of excess calories, too many calories. So when we think about calories, we have a number which is our maintenance. What that means is if you stick to that number of calories every single day, you're not going to gain weight, you're not going to lose weight. The calorie deficit is usually about a couple of hundred calories under that, so that we can lose about a pound of fat a week. There's also a calorie surplus, which if you're looking to gain muscle is a good thing. You eat a couple of hundred calories over your maintenance, but this is the reason why a lot of people put weight on without realizing. Even if they're eating healthier stuff, it's just they're eating just a little bit too much for their body. So it's not the carbs, it's not the fats that are making you fat, it's excess calories. But that's why it's at the top of the pyramid. It's not as important. So if we recap really quick, at the base of the pyramid, we have the foods that you like. So if you have a diet filled with boring foods that you hate, you will not stick to it. And consistency beats perfection every single time. You can lose weight eating chicken and broccoli only, but good luck doing that for the next 20 years. Next up, calories. So no matter what modality you follow, whether it's intermittent fasting, keto, a Weight Watchers or Slimming World sort of plan, or just trying to eat healthy or a Mediterranean type diet, calories is always the king. Eat too many, gain weight. Eat fewer than you burn, you'll lose weight. Simple as that. And then protein. So as we said, that it's going to help you repair. But one thing I didn't say, which is quite important, it helps you keep your muscle. So as you're losing weight, your body, we want it to sort of eat the fat, not eat your muscles when we're in a calorie deficit. So if we have enough protein, it's going to prioritize keeping our muscle as well. The more muscle we have, the higher our metabolism will be, and the more calories we're going to burn at rest, which is obviously a good thing. So in terms of fat loss, and that's what we're talking about with this pyramid, is the last part is the carbs and fat, and they're not as important as you may think. As long as you're getting enough protein and your calories are under control, you're going to get results. So with this, whether you go high carb, low fat, or the other way around, it's totally up to you and your preference. You can even mix it up day to day if you want. And then here we go down the side, as we mentioned earlier, consistency. This is the part everyone forgets. So obviously, if you follow a perfect diet for 3 days and then you have 2 weeks of just binging, it's not a good thing. You'd rather have the 2 weeks just being consistent, following it 80-20, the 80-20 principle. So when you're going through a fat loss phase, and it is only a phase, it won't last forever, just make sure that you sort of look at this pyramid and you think through it. So does it include foods that I like? Do I know what calories I need to lose weight? If not, find out. Do I know my protein goal? Am I getting enough protein in the diet? And then what carbs and fat and what ratio of that will I be hitting? And can I keep it up for the duration of this phase, whether it's 6 weeks, 12 weeks, or a year? Make sure you follow the 80-20 principle as long as you are good. And when I mean good, you're following these principles in the pyramid. For 80% of the time, you will get results. Hopefully you've got the message. You don't have to stress about every single bite when you're on a diet. If you follow this pyramid and what it represents, you will get results, and great results, without having a horrible time. Eat foods you enjoy, control your calories, getting enough protein, and being consistent. Those are the keys. These are the things that are going to get you great results. Forget finding a new fad diet that someone's pushing. Just use this pyramid and get actual results and actually enjoy the process. So there we go. There's a quick sort of overview. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it.